All right, let's jump right into this explainer. If you think you already know exactly what the Chinese North looks and feels like, well, prepare to have those expectations completely shattered. Forget everything you thought you knew. Welcome to an exploration of Dalian, a place where the mountains meet the ocean and where history has woven a tapestry unlike anywhere else in the entire region.
Seriously, when I say Northeast China, what pops into your head? You're probably picturing a frozen kingdom, right? Heavy industry, snow-covered forests, maybe some freezing ice castles. That is the traditional image of Dongbei. But Dalian? Dalian offers a completely different reality. It's a city that greets you not with a heavy winter coat, but with a refreshing sea breeze. We are basically trading the myth of this purely industrial, icy north for the reality of Dalian. And that reality is a sophisticated coastal metropolis. We're talking broad plazas, dramatic green cliffs, and deep blue water. It's an incredibly striking juxtaposition that just flips everything you might expect right on its head.
So, the crucial takeaway here is that before the North becomes a land of ice, it actually begins right here, where China meets the sea. Dalian acts as the southern gateway to the region, opening straight up to the Yellow Sea and the Bohai Sea, which really sets this bright, oceanic tone for our whole journey today.
Okay, moving on to Section 1, Echoes of European Architecture, from Zhongshan to Venice.
So, Dalian grew from a tiny coastal settlement into this massive port, uniquely shaped by both Russian and Japanese urban planning over the last century. What's absolutely fascinating is how Zhongshan Square's circular layout preserves over 100 years of this layered international history. Check this out. It started in 1898 under Russian planning as Nikolaevskaya Square. Then it transitioned into Dalian Square under Japanese control in 1905, before finally becoming Zhongshan Square in the modern era of 1945. You can literally see the layers of time baked right into the stones themselves.
Imagine standing right in the center of this rare star-shaped pattern with 10 roads radiating outward. Lining this massive circle are 10 iconic historical buildings featuring this wild, magnificent blend of Gothic, classical, and Renaissance styles. Honestly, standing on that open pavement among the carved columns, those heavy doors designed to project trust and power, and the golden autumn ginkgo trees, it feels exactly like you're standing in a living, open-air museum. But it's a civic room that locals still use every single day. Now, shifting over to the modern Donggong district, look at this massive footprint. Over 400,000 square meters. That belongs to Dalian's Venice Water City. Because, the city doesn't just preserve its old European echoes, it's actively building new ones right on the waterfront.
This area features 4 kilometers of artificial canals built right along the coastline. And yes, you can actually ride electric gondolas through neoclassical European-style buildings. Authentic Italian-style gondolas right here on the Yellow Sea. It's this remarkable fusion of European romance and modern waterfront leisure. With seagulls circling overhead and those glass towers in the background, it's just a breathtaking, breathable outdoor living room for the whole city.
Next up, Section 2, Record-Breaking Coastal Grandeur, the Colossal Coast.
We've seen the elegance, but now let's talk about sheer monumental scale. This is a city that dreams big, and nowhere is that more obvious than on its southern shore. Take a look at this jaw-dropping number, 1.1 million square meters. That represents Xinghai Square. It is actually recognized by Guinness as the world's largest city square, and it's built entirely on reclaimed land to face the sea. The scale is honestly hard to even comprehend until you're standing right in the middle of it.
And framing that massive square is another crazy number, 6.8 kilometers. That's the length of the dramatic Xinghai Bay Cross-Sea Bridge. It sweeps right across the water, providing this stunning silver horizon line that connects the natural edge of the bay back to the modern city.
Standing here makes you feel wonderfully tiny against the glowing sunset and the vast ocean. Xinghai Square basically operates as a monumental balcony over the sea. Because it is so enormous, the crowds can really spread out, which means everyone gets to share this quiet, golden sunset atmosphere while seagulls fly overhead. It's pretty magical.
Moving right along to Section 3, Golden Leaves of Lushan, Whispers of History. Okay, let's step away from the grand plazas and monumental engineering for a second and just slow things down. Down in the Lushan district, specifically the Taiyanggo Historic District, you'll find this incredibly cinematic neighborhood. In late autumn, fallen golden ginkgo leaves completely blanket the broad, quiet roads. Locals use these leaf-covered historic streets almost like a long outdoor studio, just moving at a beautifully relaxed pace. It is highly photogenic for sure, but more importantly, it feels deeply human in scale. This entire area operates as a living archive. You've got the Lushan Museum, founded way back in 1917, showing off its heavy classical Western stonework that really projects institutional power. But then, right next to it, you find preserved residential villas and old fences holding all these memories of the port's modern era. Everyday life just naturally continues right beside this solemn, century-old architecture. It makes history feel incredibly present and alive, you know?
And finally, Section 4, Treasures of the Yellow Sea, the Taste of the Coast.
Listen, no explainer of Dalian will be complete without diving headfirst into its incredibly grounded, authentic seafood culture. You just can't truly understand this coastal gateway without tasting what comes out of those cold, deep blue waters. Let's start at Fisherman's Wharf. This isn't polished like the fancy yacht marinas we saw earlier. No, this is a down-to-earth working harbor full of nets, crates, fishing boats, and the raw honesty of seaside trade. This beautiful, rugged bay is where you truly understand the city's livelihood. The fresh catch is spread right out on the roadside, far, far away from the polished tourist postcards.
So what exactly are they catching? Well, let's look at a huge local favorite, the purple sea urchin. The cold, nutrient-rich waters at 39 degrees north latitude create the absolute perfect environment for marine life. Because the water is colder, these urchins grow slowly. They actually spend 3 whole years maturing on the rocky seafloor. And that slow growth is exactly what gives them their renowned, creamy, sweet ocean flavor. Now, this isn't just about catching seafood. It is a mouth-watering culinary journey. Once these urchins are hand-harvested from the rocky, cold-water seafloors by experienced locals, you can enjoy them perfectly fresh and raw. No seasonings needed, just pure ocean sweetness. But the locals also get super creative with it. They ingeniously wrap them into Dalian's famous open-mouth sea urchin dumplings, where the vibrant urchin literally peeks right out of the top of the wrapper. They even bake them or mix them into rich, savory sea urchin rice bowls. From the ocean floor directly to the bustling night markets, it is a culinary experience you simply will not forget. But the sea urchin is really just the beginning. Dalian's coastal culture isn't just about the amazing views. It's deeply tied to this incredible, bountiful harvest. The waters yield slow-growing liashen, which is a premium temperate sea cucumber. Then you've got the giant Xinghai oysters, often called the milk of the sea because they're so rich. And we absolutely cannot forget the golden hook shrimp paste, crafted in coastal villages using ancient, century-old boiling methods. Literally every single bite tells the story of the sea. So having walked through a century of layered architecture in Xinghai Square, felt the monumental, record-breaking scale of Xinghai Square, wandered the quiet, golden streets of Lushan, and tasted the raw bounty of the Yellow Sea, ask yourself, are you still holding on to the myth of the frozen industrial north? Or are you ready to discover where China meets the sea? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep your curiosity wide open.